Can everyone hear us okay? Das good. Thank you.
So right now, I'd like to introduce the entire cast of Trails of Trouble. What prompted you to make this film?
A passion and desire for the horror genre that I've had for a multitude of years, Joshua.
That's not true. Where was this filmed?
That's actually Jason's question, so I have to wait till he asks me that.
Jay, I'm asking you a question.
Where was this film?
The filming locations for Trails of Trouble occurred in Lincoln Woods, in what's considered more northern Rhode Island, and Arcadia Management, which is definitely southern Rhode Island.
Question for each. Best part, worst part.
I love how you died. That was awesome.
Yeah.
You're like,
Thanks.
bad husband. Bad
I
husband.
thought we were friends. So that was the worst part. What was the best part?
I love doing the blood applications, and I love getting killed. That was my favorite. I love it.
I mean, I'm obviously biased, so all of it was good and bad for me, but particularly the opening and the two of yous. And also I like the little ending with Eric walking off, too, and Teresa making that little cameo.
I'm amazed that I was one of the few actors that actually survived until the end.
Leo is a hero for showing up for 2 days.
Yeah. The worst and best part was honestly some of the interruptions. There was a lot of dogs in Lincoln Woods.
Oh,
It's a
yes,
public
airplanes.
park.
Best part was having a nice day on set with a bunch of people that I hardly know, and that there is always the best thing about such films is making new comrades and camaraderie, and it was nice getting murdered. So, and getting the proper blood application was very good.
It was fun.
I'd say, no, the best. I had so much fun doing it. But getting murdered was good. And we just had so much fun. I actually Marco yelled at me for fooling around too much on set. He said you did too.
And Leo third. Leo was
No, it was still so much fun, even though I pissed you off. Sorry.
I had to yell at Marco to stop yelling at them.
And the worst part was probably the bug bites.
The what?
Bug bites.
That's not what I thought you said.
bad bug.
Eric?
I'd say the best part was murdering people. I loved murdering every single one of these people. It was great. There was no worst part. I enjoyed every single aspect of this. It was really good. I liked it a lot.
Oh, dehydration.
Yeah, he even liked that. Oh, that's right. Oh, yeah, worst part, dehydration.
Yeah, but it's just like don't drink as much water as I should. That's all.
Is there any questions from the crowd? Is there?
Yes, Joseph.
Don't hurt. What made you choose Lincoln Woods?
Availability and convenience.
That's it.
Try to outsmart me.
I backed off with one blow, so it's not going to get too far. Come on.
Now we need to make the effort.
That's as far as. She's been on stage before, you can do it.
How did you make?
Try it. You get too
How did you make some of the blood on set?
Chocolate syrup and Kool-Aid packets. And I particularly chose that because it stained the least and it was the easiest to make. The most potency of color that I wanted.
But if somebody's allergic to chocolate, you have
Like
to-
me?
Yes.
Chrissy, come over here.
Oh my God. Yeah, everyone can hear me. I am not quiet.
She's a pro blood worker.
Yes, I make blood. Okay. No, so if you're allergic to chocolate, we use chocolate syrup and Kool-Aid mix, but only the red one. So for Squid, or Josh, he had to not have chocolate, so it was what, baby applesauce?
That's right, the curve.
But we used tropical Kool-Aid, which highly stains. So he was bright red for how long after?
3 days.
Yeah, now, you see your beard washed up well.
It was a nice tint.
We would have prepped a base for him too.
The baby food and the sauce, whatever that was. It made
It
my
was
beard
tropical
red for 3
Kool-Aid. It's
days.
not, you should have had red Kool-Aid, but you didn't want the
I don't
chocolate.
want to talk about it anymore. Next question.
He wanted the baby food so bad.
Many carrots.
Cinematography, sir. How was your camera angles, and would you change anything?
Oh, you trying to trap me because you help me out. Camera angles, the expectancy that you have mentally as opposed to actually being able to execute it often is not correlated the same. So what I wanted to do for camera angles and what I was available to do, two different things. But in the end, it worked out between Leo and Joshua helping me. Awesome. I mean, pros and cons, but overall it was a complete pro. What was the other question regarding cinematography angles?
I just wanted praise.
I did have to edit the excessive amount of additional things that weren't supposed to be in the scenes because of Josh's camera work. Like the other cameraman in his footage.
Next question. Anybody have any questions out there?
Yes, Joseph. Who has the microphone, Jay?
I've seen you work on the 48-hour film festival, so I know what you are under a time crunch. About how much footage did you end up having before you started cutting what you ended up with here?
It's a good. Right. So the movie's in total, 8.5 minutes, but there's between all the collected footage, I want to say easily 45 minutes to an hour's worth, probably more. Because sometimes you just let the camera roll and whatever it catches, you just don't have time to turn it off, or you have to do multiple takes, et cetera, et cetera.
How was the editing process?
Filming it, coordinating it, and editing it by myself is challenging, and since I'm not an editor, I had a few ideas of what I wanted to do premeditatively when it came to editing, so that was fairly easy, but then the challenges came about actually the selection process of what I wanted to do for the editing. So it can be tedious, despite what people think, because people only see the baby, they don't see the labor pains that come with it.
So you had North Rhode Island, South Rhode Island. Can you explain that?
That was on the fly, I came up with it as I was editing it to kind of differentiate the two sets of different footage that we had from two separate days. So that was like the tie-in for them both. Since there's trails, it can be a generalized, trails. And I kind of wanted to distinguish between Northern Rhode Island, Southern Rhode Island at the time. And no, there's not going to be an East and West Rhode Island.
Is it going to be an East? You obviously don't know a compass. Any other questions? Okay. So I'm going to go with this wonderful cast. How was it working with me?
I'll let Chrissy take that one.
That was a good question. No, but
That's going to take a while for me.
We go way back. We've been going way back, and we've been friends ever since we met, 4 years ago for Curse the Weird Ear for Trauma. And ever since then, working with you is fun. We're friends.
It was a rhetorical question.
No, maybe it was fun. Maybe it was just awful. And, oh my God.
Don't answer that question,
I would like to answer that question, Joshua, in full detail. So working with Josh is awesome. However, he has very shaky hands, and he's not really a designated cameraman, but he likes to think he is. So when he says, "Does the shot look okay? How's this?"
If you designate him as a camera.
Moving on to the next question.
So from the mouth of...
I was going to say, he said you're not a designated cameraman, but I'm going to say if you designated him as a cameraman, then he is a designated cameraman.
It's found footage, everybody. Just so you know, my shots were found footage. That's what was given to me from the director. Exact words. Found footage. Shake it.
Blitz cam.
But
It was good working with you another time, you know, there was multiple occasions.
That was a joke question. I don't know why you guys really
Oh no, this is fair.
so
You're getting the gauntlet, apparently.
Now you have to hear it.
I like Josh.
I paid him $10 to say that. Yeah. Free entry to the festival. But seriously, like, it was really fun to work with you guys, even though the conditions were not so fun. You know what I mean? So kudos to the entire cast, because not only was it hot, but there were a lot of people messing up every fucking shot. So
On that message, a lot of the people that were messing up the shot, I did find worked well with us. I did stop traffic multiple times, and people were more than happy to have traffic stopped because the movie was going on. So yeah, it was kind of wacky, but that's one of the reasons I work behind cameras, because I can't talk to people who stop traffic. So okay.
Yeah, when I was doing my scene at the beginning, I had the loud scream, and all I hear is Dave. We're filming a movie.
Is that when they're...
We're not getting murdered in real life.
Nobody's actually dying. You can move on
No,
now.
keep walking, keep walking.
Right.
A lot of fun.
Oh, family.
It's always good to have a person around that can talk to police and other people to make sure that when people are screaming, they understand.
So the other question, the real question for the cast was, Marco gave us like things to do and say, but he also gave us a lot of freedom. And I want to know on your aspect how good that was for you to act.
I mean, it was a lot of fun. It gave us plenty of freedom to come up with our ideas to how. I mean, he had his ideas of what he wanted, but he let us play within in that space, which means you can get a lot of cool stuff in. Like he was open to any idea that I had, and it was great. Whether it was used or not, he'll always let you at least put something out there if you want to do that. So it was great.
He's getting money.
Marco, you paying him?
No, I thank Marco for being patient with me, because I literally was sitting in my spot and it took us forever to get there. And then I got up and moved. And I didn't even realize it. And he's like, you're going to kill me, so thank you for dealing with me.
Not killing you.
Yeah.
The whole thing on it, honestly, the way we're standing right now, me and Leo, is pretty much what we were doing in the movie, and that's pretty much what we do anyway. So it worked out well, and I believe our friendship appeared over the screen, so everything worked out well. So good directing.
It was actually interesting, not only the acting portion of it, which was a lot of fun, like improvising and figuring out our characters as we're moving along, but just being able to help with the behind the scenes stuff, like the blood work, the camera work, which I didn't expect to do.
Highly appreciate it too.
But the fact that we're all collaborating with each other and cooperating and just figuring out how to help each other out, not just with our own scenes, but helping each other's scenes.
Get it to Chrissy.
I loved everyone on set. The whole process was amazing, regardless of frustration.
Chrissy,
Right, come on, this way. It was
Wait,
so
microphone
easy to
closer.
come up with a thing for us.
Closer.
It was very easy to come up with a thing for us. It was organic. It was just back and forth. You were annoying me.
And it worked really good together. You guys
You could tell we
were
were like,
a
we
long-term
could be
couple.
married.
Yeah.
He's bitching about something that he wanted to do, and of course it was my fault. But, you know.
It's like
And then
my
he
life.
pushed me towards the murderer, so that just showed we were totally a dedicated married couple. But it was great.
Just for the record, I didn't get late.
Did not.
That totally threw me off. I was thinking of sex and I just ruined my other question. I had one, but I forgot what it was. Anybody else got a question? Well, sorry, I spaced on that. Yeah, that's all I got.
Thanks a lot, guys. I hope you
Thank you, everyone. Highly appreciate it.